In the weeks following the 2016 election, Roger Stone was arrested. He was brought in on 7 criminal charges related to the Mueller investigation. 1 count of obstruction of an official proceeding, 5 counts of false statements, and 1 count of witness tampering. He eventually was convicted, and last week Donald Trump commuted his 40-month sentence. The Democrats are up in arms, but they shouldn't be over this commutation. If you look at Hillary Clinton's unwillingness to answer questions about her emails,
what difference at this point does it make?
If she wasn't convicted of obstruction,
what difference at this point does it make?
If she claimed that it was just a political witch hunt,
what difference at this point does it make?
And she has actual evidence of wrongdoing,
what difference?
And she's substantially guilty of allowing Russian and Chinese to get a hold of the state secrets
at this point
through her illegal server,
does it make?
You people are laughable if you believe that Hillary Clinton should be allowed to walk and go free, and Roger Stone should be burned over this supposed lie.
What difference at this point does it make?
There's no one that should take you seriously if you have a double standard like that. Let's look at why this commutation was actually reasonable. Whether Roger Stone lied or not is not the point. The facts of the Horowitz report shows that Roger Stone had been unwittingly conscripted to help the deep state advance their claims that Donald Trump was in bed with the Russians, which by the way has been proven to be nothing but a political ploy.
If you don't have a legal foundation to surveil somebody and you keep doing it, is that bad?
Absolutely.
Is that spying?
It's not. It's illegal surveillance. It's not court-authorized surveillance.
Whatever illegal surveillance means, they did it.
Once they know that the probable cause is bogus and the dossier is junk and they continue the surveillance and lie to continue the surveillance, that's when it becomes illegal. And that's why Carter Page should sue. The whole thing was a lie. The investigation started on a lie. There's no Trump-Russia collusion, and there never was. It was continued by a lie in the Steele dossier. Then the FBI agents lied to the judge about it. And then Comey lied to Congress and said everything was fine when it wasn't.
When you have multiple agencies conspiring in the same lie, how the hell do you even think that you have the high ground to point fingers at Roger Stone's lies? And that's what makes the commutation make sense. Because the Mueller report was a political ploy, the questions that got Stone arrested were just some form of entrapment. They're trying to spin the story to make it seem like Trump is releasing him, commuting his sentence because Roger Stone has some dirt on Donald Trump. Of course they need to spin it that way, because if people dig in and find out the real reason for Roger Stone's commutation, if the people are reminded that the Mueller investigation was a crime in and of itself, then the Democrats are going to burn. So of course they've got to give any other reason to make this commutation make sense any other way, or else it's bad news for them. There's a passage from the Divine Principle that reads, "Those who are in line with the direction of God's providence, or are acting in concert with that direction, even indirectly, are on the side of God, while those who take the opposing position are on the side of Satan. Therefore, whether or not an individual or nation belongs to God's side or Satan's side is not always in agreement with the judgment of our common sense or conscience. For example, someone who is ignorant of God's providence may judge that Moses' killing of the Egyptian taskmaster was evil, yet it may be regarded as a good act because it was in line with God's providence. If Hillary Clinton is into Maria Abramovich, spirit cooking, pedophilia, hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein, covering up her husband's rapes, molestations, stealing from the innocent public, selling our uranium to borderline communist regimes, she's obviously on the side of evil. Roger Stone engaging in deception, trying to help a weakened Donald Trump, the enemy of the deep state, and Hillary Clinton, even indirectly helping take down this evil, he is on the side of God.
Your seed is the key to a new future. Virtue of the devil is in his loins.
Al Pacino said in Devil's Advocate, "The power of the devil is in his loins." We're moving into an era where fatherhood is understood for what it is, for how powerful it is. Its bearing on poverty and juvenile delinquency is becoming clear, and the importance of how we use our sexual organ can no longer be denied. Fateful marriages matter. So the cleaning up of criminal sex activity is God's business in this current era. And if Roger Stone and Donald Trump are helping to bring down these world-level pedophiles, even unbeknownst to them, then they are on the side of God, working in God's providence for God's purposes. The providential time that we're living in right now is one where we're establishing a healthy human society through simple, time-tested family values. Another passage from the Divine Principle reads, "A religion is given a mission for its age, but if after its time of responsibility has passed, it becomes an obstacle for an emerging religion which comes with a new mission for the next age, then it stands in the side of Satan." In this clip, you'll see Donald Trump giving an explanation for why he doesn't talk nicely to his enemies or political opponents.
Unfortunately, insult politics have become a staple of this political environment. Could there be a way that we can deliver your message without the controversial rhetoric and efforts to reunite this country during these divisive times?
Well, I have to tell you, I appreciate the question. I think the country is far more united than people think. When they hit us, we have to hit back. I feel that. I mean, there's two ways of doing it, turning your cheek, but I wouldn't be sitting up here if I turned my cheek. If I said, okay, let them just keep hitting at me, and I won't do it, they're not interviewing me right now, they're interviewing somebody else. Maybe they won't even be doing that. But you know what? You can't turn your cheek. I mean, we get hit. Thank you. You look terrific, right?
The concept of turn the other cheek is misunderstood by most Christians. And Satan knows this. Satan will say, "You're supposed to let me kill you and not strike back. Otherwise, you have no love." Many Christians go for this to their detriment. The left is always feigning outrage and pretending that they were hurt and insulted, as if to demand proof from Christians that we love them. But as we can see in the first temptation of Christ, you're not obliged to give proof of who you are or what you're capable of to the enemy.